Okay, sir.
Hi students, good evening. I am Hanumantra, English faculty. Today is my first class, and actually I want to talk to you in person, but as due to Corona, now the days are going on like this. Anyhow, we don't want to miss the time. The time is very useful and very precious. So let us utilize the time in whatever way possible. That's why online classes are going on, so that you can utilize the time well. Today, I am going to tell you about English. Why do we need to learn English? English is used throughout the world. Wherever you go, you have to converse, you have to communicate. Whether you leave your state, whether you leave your country, and wherever you go, you have to use English. So, learning English is compulsory. Not only for communication, for getting jobs, you need English. And for getting jobs, for communicating, and for many things, you need English. For further studies, and for writing stories, and understanding what others speak to you, you need English. And there is a lot to talk about English, as this is my first class. I want to focus only on the parts of speech in today's class. Parts of speech are eight. There are 8 parts of speech. There are parts of speech. There are 1. Noun, 2. Pronoun, 3. Adjective, 4. Verb, 5. Adverb, 6. Preposition, 7. Conjunction, and the last one, 8th one, is interjection. These are the 8 parts of speech. Any word in English, any word, take any word in English, they must belong to any one of these 8 parts of speech. And let us go to noun, the first one. Let us learn something in short, not in detail, because there is a lot to learn about noun. For example, kinds of nouns are there, noun number is there, a noun gender. Let us see. There are different kinds of nouns. For example, common noun, proper noun, material noun, collective noun, and abstract noun. The different kinds of nouns. What is actually noun? What noun is? Noun is a naming word. It's nothing but the names. The names of persons, places, and things. Whatever you see around, it is a noun. Whatever the thing you see around you is a noun. Take for example sky. You can see sky, right? Sky is a noun. And you can see fan. Fan is a noun. and but something there is that is abstract noun that you can't see. You can perceive by any one of your five senses. Abstract noun cannot be seen, cannot be felt, cannot be touched, cannot be smelled, cannot be tasted. So, other than abstract noun, all the nouns you can see. So, the things, whatever the things around you are nouns. So, there are five kinds of nouns. Common noun. Take for example, student. Student is the name of a person. It's a common name of a person. Student is a common noun. If a student has a name, it is known as a proper noun. Ramu is a student. Ramu is the name of a student and the name of a particular student. If the name tells us something in particular, that is proper noun. College is a common noun. College can be used to any kind of college. But if the college has a name, then the name must belong to proper noun. And material noun. All the materials come under material nouns. And materials are in three stages. You know that very well in chemistry. Gaseous stage and oxygen is also a noun. It is in the form of gas stage, and carbon dioxide, all the gases. Air is also in gaseous stage. Material noun, all the materials, iron. Actually, R is silent in that book. Iron is also a material noun. Wood is also a material noun. Plastic, gold, they're all material nouns. And they're in the state of solid. Those nouns are solid nouns. So the material nouns may be in the three different stages. In the stage of gas, or in the stage of liquid, or in the stage of solid. Milk come under solid, come under liquid state. Milk, water, diesel, kerosene, they're all in liquid state. So materials are basically in three forms: in the form of gas, in the form of liquid, in the form of solid. So these are all known as material nouns. And if you go to collective noun, they tell something collectively. They tell us more than one. See, for example, a pen. Pen. A pen is a noun. But if you say a dozen of pens, dozen is also noun, but it is a collective noun. And a pile of books, pile is a collective noun. A bunch of grapes, bunch is a collective noun. A bouquet of flowers, bouquet is a collective noun. A dozen of bananas, dozen is a collective noun. So collective nouns are the nouns that tell us more than one. A pair of shoes, pair means more than one. Two, pair means two. A pair of shoes, pair is a collective noun. And abstract noun. Abstract nouns are the nouns that cannot be seen, that cannot be smelled, that cannot be tasted, that cannot be heard, that cannot be felt. So the nouns that cannot be perceived by any one of our five senses, they are abstract nouns. For example, love Love doesn't have any form. Love doesn't have any body. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it, and you cannot taste it, and you cannot smell it. So that's why love is known as abstract noun. Abstract means that cannot be perceived by any one of our five senses. How many senses do we have? We have five senses. We have five sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smelling, sense of tasting, and sense of feel, that is touching. And we cannot understand, we cannot feel, we cannot know with these five sense. So those kinds of nouns are known as abstract nouns. Hatred, love, timidity, intelligence, they're all abstract nouns because they don't have any form. And the other one is okay, let us recollect once again. Common noun: student, teacher, school, city, they're all common nouns. Proper noun: Guntur is a proper noun. So, and Ramu is a proper noun. Boy is a common noun. And collective noun: dozen, group, bunch, bouquet is a collective noun. And intelligence, stupidity, they are all abstract nouns. So these are the five kinds of nouns: common noun, proper noun, material noun, collective noun, and abstract noun. These are the five kinds of nouns. And if we go to the other section of the noun, that is noun number. What is noun number? Number tells us how many things are there. There are two: singular and plural. Singular means one. Plural means more than one. Pen is singular. Pens are plural. Book is singular. Books are plural. So these are known as noun and number. And the other one is noun gender. Gender is nothing but sex. There are four kinds of gender: feminine gender, masculine gender, common gender, and neuter gender. Masculine gender is nothing but whatever that is related to boy or a man. They are known as masculine gender. For example, boy is a masculine gender, man is a masculine gender, and dog is a masculine gender, tiger is a masculine gender. What is feminine gender? All the nouns that is related to female, that is related to girl or woman, they are known as feminine gender. For example, girl, woman, Lata, and tigress, and bitch. Bitch is a female dog. Dog is a male dog, and bitch is a female dog. P-I-T-C-H, bitch is female dog. So masculine gender and feminine gender. Common gender is there. What is common gender? If the noun may be a girl or a boy is a common gender. For example, student. Student is a common gender because student may be a girl or may be a boy. So student is a common gender. Teacher, lecturer, professor, they are all common genders. Teacher may be a male teacher or maybe a female teacher. So teacher belongs to common gender. Next, the last one is neuter gender. Neuter means it doesn't have any sex. It is neither male nor female. Take for example this pen. This pen doesn't have any life. So the things that don't have any life they're all neuter gender. Ladder, fan, building, school, they're all neuter genders. Pen is also neuter gender because it is neither male nor female. So the things that is neither male nor female fall under this category, that is neuter gender. Okay, like that we can learn many things in detail about every parts of speech. How many parts of speech are there totally? There are 8 parts of speech, right? And the first one is noun. So we have learned something about noun. That is noun, kinds of nouns. What are the kinds of nouns? Common noun, proper noun, material noun, collective noun, and abstract noun. And noun number, that is singular and plural. And the next one is noun gender, that is masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender, and neuter gender. Let us go to pronoun. And pronoun is used in the place of a noun. It is used instead of a noun. See for example, if we learn about the story of Harita. Harita is a girl, and instead of using Harita, always we use she or her. So the words that are used in the place of a noun are called pronouns, and there are many pronouns. And if we learn about pronouns, we must learn something about first person, second person, third person. First person. What is first person? The person who is talking, who is speaking, fall under first person. That is I and we. I and we belong to first person. And you, the person who is listening, the person who hears, is second person. So you always treated as second person. And all the pronouns except I, we, and you fall under third category, that is third person. I, we, first person, you, second person, and he, she, it, they all fall under third person. And she is used in the place of a girl or a woman, and he is used instead of a boy or a man, and it is used in the place of an animal or a tree, maybe a living thing or maybe a non-living thing. And some kids, some babies are also known as it. For example, the baby is crying. The baby is crying. It is a very naughty baby. See here, it is used in the place of that baby. So sometimes it is used for babies also. Babies means small kids, and it is used for animals, for trees, for birds, and it is used as a singular. If it is a plural, then we use they. See, it is a pen. It is a pronoun. They are pens. They are pens. Here they is also pronoun, but it is plural. It is singular and they is plural. And what about subjective case, objective case, and there are many things to learn about pronoun. For example, let us take I as an example. I, me, my, mine, myself. In the same way, we, us, hers, ourselves, you, your, yours, yourself, and yourselves. It, its, itself. She, her, hers, herself. He, him, his, himself. They, them, their, theirs, themselves. So these are all pronouns. There are different kinds of pronouns. Let us learn in depth when we learn about pronouns in the next class. And if we go to the adjective, adjective is a qualifying word. It qualifies. It talks more about a noun or a pronoun. For example, Harini is a nice girl. Harini is a girl. Girl is a noun. And what kind of girl is she? What kind of girl is Harini? Harini is a nice girl. Here, the word nice talks about Harini. So, nice, the word nice is an adjective and it talks more about Harini. What kind of girl is Harini? So, the words that talk more about noun or pronouns are known as adjectives. There is something to learn about adjectives, a lot. Okay, let us see more about adjectives in the coming classes. And if we go to the verb mainly is an action word. It tells us the action. What I am doing now? I am teaching you English. I am standing. You are listening. And all these words, standing, listening, speaking, hearing, they all come under action words. And verb also talks about possession. Possession means ownership. For example, hey, do you know what my name is? My name is Hanumanth Rao. Hanumanth Rao. I don't have a tail. My name is Hanumanth Rao, but I don't have a tail. See, I have a tail and I don't have a tail. I have a tail. Have is also verb. And it doesn't tell us an action. It tells us the possession. The possession, the ownership. I have a car. I have a car. Who is the owner of the car? Myself. It's me. I have a car. Have is a possession. And it is a verb. So, verb tells about actions and also about ownership, possession. That things belong to so and so persons. So, verbs like possess, have, they are all talking about ownership, possession. And verbs tell us about state also. State is nothing but position. I'm a man. Here, am is a verb, but there is no action in it. There is no position in it. There is no ownership in it. Then, am is a verb. It talks about the state of the person. Ram is a boy. Is a verb. It tells the state of Ram, that he is a boy. So, yam, is, are, was, were, they talk more about state, sthiti. There are many students in the classroom. In this sentence, are is a verb. It talks about the state. Are. Okay, verb tells us three different things, mainly about action and position and state. And let us go to adverb. Add to verb. The name itself talks about something more about verb. Add something more to verb. When some more meaning is added to a verb, the word which is added to give more meaning about the verb, they are all known as adverbs. That's why the name itself has that one. Add something more to verb. Adverb. Adverb talks about verb. It tells more about verb. How a work is done. How and when. How, when a work is done. How a work is done. Why a work is done. So why, when, how. So adverb tells more about verb. How an action done. Why an action done. When an action done. That is about adverb. There are different kinds of adverbs. Many adverbs. Let us learn more about adverbs in coming classes. And the next one is preposition. Preposition are used in sentences which shows the relationship between two nouns in the same sentence, or one noun and one pronoun in the same sentence. It is a word that shows us the relationship. For example, the pen is in my hand. The pen is in my hand. In this sentence, in is preposition. Let us see the sentence once again. The pen is in my hand. In this sentence, pen is a noun and hand is also noun. So in this complete sentence, the in tells us the relationship between hand and the pen. If we remove the preposition in, the sentence becomes meaningless. The pen is my hand. No, it's wrong. The pen is in my hand. So in shows the relationship between pen and hand. So any preposition shows the relationship between a noun and another noun in a sentence, or between a noun and a pronoun in the same sentence. There are different kinds of prepositions, and prepositional phrases are also there in addition to, according to, anything like that. And next is conjunction. What does a conjunction do in a sentence? It joins. It joins two words. It joins two phrases. It joins two clauses. Conjunction is a joining word. You and me. And joins you, me. Cup and saucer. And joins cup and saucer. He came fast, but missed the bus. He came fast is one class missed the bus is another clause. It joins two clauses. But is a conjunction, it joins two clauses like this. So the word that joins two words or two phrases or two clauses are known as conjunctions, like and, but, or, like that. And the last one is interjection. Interjection is a word which is the last parts of speech. How many parts of speech are there? Totally 8. There are 8 parts of speech. What is the last one? Interjection. Interjection is a word that expresses sudden feelings of joy, sadness, or happiness, or sorrowfulness. Suddenly. The words that are expressed to that are used to express our sudden feelings of happiness or sadness are known as interjections. Hooray! India won the game. Hooray is an interjection. It is used to express joy. Alas, there was an accident. Alas, it is used to express sadness. Hip hip hooray! I won the game. Alas, the dog is dead. So, hip hip hooray, hooray, woe, alas, bravo. All these words are interjections. They are used to express sudden feelings of joy or sadness. So, this is about 8 parts of speech. Let us recollect once again. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Noun is a naming word. Example, Ram. Pronoun is used in the place of noun. For example, he. Adjective is a word that qualifies a noun. Adjective describes noun. Pronoun. Ramu is handsome. So handsome is adjective. In this word handsome, D is silent. D is not pronounced. Handsome, that is handsome. So Ramu is handsome. Handsome is adjective. Ramu is noun. Yes, he is handsome. He is a pronoun. He is used in the place of Ramu. And verb. Ramu is handsome. Handsome. Is verb. It tells us the state of Ramu. And adverb. Ramu is very handsome. Ramu is very handsome. Here in this sentence, very is adverb. Actually, I told you that adverb modifies a verb. Not only verb, adverb modifies a verb, another adverb, and an adjective too. See, Ramu is handsome. In this sentence, handsome is adjective, right? And very is adverb, and it modifies handsome. It talks more about handsome. How handsome? Very handsome. So, the word that talks more about a verb or an adjective or another adverb, they are known as adverbs. So, an adverb does 3 types of functions. It talks more about a verb or an adjective or another adverb. And next, preposition. Preposition shows the relationship between 2 nouns or one noun and a pronoun in a sentence. And conjunction is a joining word like and, but, yet. Interjection is the word that expresses the sudden feelings of happiness and sadness. So these are the 8 parts of speech. Any word in English must belong to any one of these 8 parts of speech. Okay, let us go deep. Let us go in detail in the coming classes. Okay, don't miss my class. Please do follow me. Thank you. Bye.